The thing that struck me, the reason why I posted, I guess I'm doing it more now, but for years and years I didn't do anything on any social media outlet that had anything to do with politics or business or anything other than just music. Here's music that I like, that's it. Or here's music that we're making or whatever. But I read an article in Business Insider that was, which I think of as like a legitimate publication, that basically the entire foundation of the article was written under the pretense that you should not have to pay for music. And not only you shouldn't have to, but that's just common sense. I mean, he kept using the expression, the author kept saying, Apple is trying to make you pay for music. Just like, I mean, to me, that's like, well, Starbucks is making you pay for coffee, because if you don't, you get arrested. It's illegal. Someone's working in a field, someone's brewing the coffee. In order for the business to be sustained, revenue has to be generated, and it's the same thing in the music industry, So it really kind of, what struck me about this article was not only that this guy, to me, was just coming from a completely different place, but that it struck me that perhaps there is an entire generation of human beings on the planet right now that own music that have never paid $1 in their life. And I remember, like, the first, record that I bought, I went to Best Buy and I bought Blackstreet's Another Level, because it had No Diggity on it, and I was all about that song in 7th grade. And I remember going to the store and buying that record, and reading the liner notes, and they covered a Paul McCartney tune in it, and like, having this album, and it wasn't just like some kind of false romanticism. I mean, it's like, you really appreciate something when you can appreciate it with multiple senses. When you can see it and touch it and hear it.
Not only going there and buying, but I remember saving money to be able to go and buy it.
Yeah.
And that feeling of satisfaction after cobbling those shekels together even had more impact.
Right. But as kind of many different ways as we can kind of romanticize what we're just talking about, all of that is almost irrelevant. What's relevant is that music has value. You know what I mean? Whether I'm a millionaire and buying a CD is like nothing, or whether, in my case, I mowed my neighbor's lawn for $20 and I used $19.99 of it to buy that Blackstreet CD. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this is something that costs money to make. You don't make albums for free. Family Dinner cost us a lot of money. That Metropole record cost us a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And if no one pays for that, we can't do that anymore. We can't make more records.
I wonder where the disconnect has come over this last 20, 15 years, where there is not an expectation to have to pay for the thing that we love.
I think the answer is simple, and it's that you don't have to. If none of us, where I'm standing and there's 30 people standing around us right now, if you didn't have to pay for coffee, would you always pay for coffee?
Probably not.
Probably not. If it's made available to you for free, then you're going to get it for free. And especially if there isn't this kind of like, you're a criminal if you get it for free thing. And especially if people are writing articles saying, you deserve it for free. Mm. You're a human being, you deserve music for free, And it's like, I mean, I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying that musicians are not the most money-grubbing human beings on earth. And somebody wrote, when I posted that article, somebody commented on our page saying, well, I thought you guys were always doing it for the music all these years. And I was like, I didn't even dignify it with a response, because I wanted to be like, of course I'm not doing it for the money, but you can't do it without revenue. And the idea that, oh yeah, well, bands make their money on the road, that's where they make their money. They make enough money on the road to pay for being on the road and to pay everyone a reasonable amount for that labor. But the music that's generated, that we listen to on the radio, that's on albums, it can't continue to be created without being paid for.
Well, I hope maybe with each little incremental move forward here, maybe the sea change will start, and who knows where we might be in 10, 15, 20 years from now. Something's got to change for sure.
Yeah, and I really commend, Taylor for doing that. I mean, it's like, I'm embarrassed. Well, I don't know if I'm embarrassed, but I've never actually heard a single one of her songs. And a lot of people were saying stuff about like, oh yeah, well, it should have, this should have come from a more respected artist or whatever. But to me, it's like, she had the ability to make a change, and she did it. I can't. I voiced the same concern to Apple, and they didn't reverse their policy,
Right. It was great when you were here a couple of times ago, and we let you know that Pat Metheny had been a fan of your band. I know you probably know about this one, but now David Crosby coming out and talking about what a big Snarky Puppy fan. You know about this one?
Yeah, well, he's on our last record, so we put him on Family Dinner. Yeah, he's a real active tweeter.
Yes, he's really spreading the gospel out there.
Yeah, I love Crosby because he's at this point where he just doesn't really give a care about what anyone thinks about what he thinks. So he'll just post whatever he wants on Twitter. It's really incredible, like people will ask him fiery questions and he'll get kind of hilarious in his responses. And yeah, I love him. I mean, he's a hero of mine, and now he's become kind of a paternal figure.